breathe out. That's what it's all about.
I know. We're like here all the time, right? We never leave. We're like on top of each other all day. It's very exhausting. I know, it's hard to be. Oh, hey guys. Hey, it must be time for a music lesson. Hey, I feel like you're not even paying attention to me. Okay, I'm right. Oh, this. Yeah. I might as well tell you. This is Winnie. She's a pug. She's 4 years old. We've been spending a lot of time together, which is a good thing. She likes sitting around. She's a good listener most of the time. But you're here for a music lesson, right? So yeah, let's do that. You know the routine. There's no place like Normandale Hills, right? Winnie, you close your eyes too, okay? Ready? Everybody with me now, ready? There's no place like Normandale Hills. There's no place like Normandale Hills. There's no place like Normandale Hills. Wow. Check it out, Winnie. We made it. Hey, you guys might think this is a mistake. You know what this is? This is the sky above Normandale Hills. It's up there. You know what, Winnie? You be a good girl. You go play, okay? Be a good dog. See you in a little bit. Bye, Winnie. So, the thing about the sky is, wherever you go, the sky is there. And the sky is always changing. It might be beautiful. It might be kind of scary looking sometimes. And that, this fall, kind of got me thinking about a song and about how the sky and the weather can kind of be like emotions we're dealing with too. And I'm not an expert on this stuff, but I know some people that are, and somebody I talked to quite a bit about emotions and mindfulness was somebody from Normandale Hills. Maybe you know Miss Kialo. So I would like to invite Miss Kialo here today under this beautiful sky. So here, let me get this going, and we'll have a little chat with Miss Kialo. Can you guys see her there? Let me get her on the screen. Hey, Miss Kialo.
Hi, Mr. Z. It's so good to see you.
It's good to see you too. So I was just talking to the kids today about emotions and mindfulness, and kind of going to revisit that song that we did this fall, just because it's kind of something important to do during this time. So I'm going to start with a question for you about breathing. I've been breathing my whole life. I think we all have, right? So why is it that more recently, at least for me, that being more mindful of breathing is so important? Could you tell us a little bit more about that?
That's such a good question, Mr. Z. I'm going to put on my glasses so I can see you a little bit better. There we go. So as far as breathing, you're right. That's something that we do every day. Most of the time we don't think about it. But what we might not think about is that breath is getting oxygen into our brains, which helps us feel more calm. It helps us to stop, think, and make good choices. So if there's ever a time where I'm having really big feelings, taking a big, deep belly breath really helps.
Okay, belly breath. I might have more of a belly by the time this is all done. So that's good to know. What does it mean to be mindful, mindful of feelings and emotions? Does that mean I can control my emotions, or is it more than that?
Being mindful is just a fancy word for noticing. So if you're mindful of your feelings, you're noticing them. It might be that you notice that your hands are stuck like this, or your shoulders are up to your ears, like your body is tense. It might be that you notice you're breathing really hard. It might be that you notice that you're really hot or you're really cold. That's what being mindful about feelings is. It's just noticing.
Okay, so once we notice these emotions, sometimes I notice an emotion I don't like. Is there such thing as a bad emotion, or should I try to like ignore certain feelings that I have sometimes?
That's a question that I get a lot. So the answer is no. There is not a bad emotion. And definitely it's not something that you should ignore. Because here's what happens. If there's something that we're feeling and we don't talk about it, we don't notice it, that mindful word that we learned about, it's going to come out sideways. It's going to come out in a funny way, in a way that we didn't mean, in a way that is not what Normandale Hills Nights do. And so it's always good to notice how your feelings are. There are no bad feelings. The thing that we can work on is how we can let those feelings out so that we're respectful to ourselves and respectful to others around us.
Okay, so what is the best way to let those emotions out? Like how do I know who I should share my feelings with, like, and when?
So who to share emotions with, that's really up to you. So there might be someone in your house, in your home, that you really trust and you feel like you can tell them the things that you're feeling. That would be a good person to talk to. There might be times when we don't feel like we want to talk to somebody or we don't know who to talk to. But if you have a stuffed animal, you could tell your feelings to them. I have a puppy right here that sometimes I can tell him how I'm feeling. Do you want to see my puppy? Let me go get him.
Hey, yeah, I was just showing him my dog Winnie earlier. Yeah, let's see your puppy, Miss Callow.
Here he is. This is Kabari. So here is someone that I could tell my feelings to if I needed to. He's a really good listener. So it could be a stuffed animal. It could be a pet you have at your house. It could be writing in a journal. Any of those things. There isn't a wrong way to do it as long as it feels good for you and it's respectful to other people.
So we've been talking a lot. Do you have any visuals you could share with us just to help us kind of understand better, like just what emotions can look like and how to deal with those?
I do have a visual I could show. I have this calming jar that Mrs. Becker made for me years ago, and I've had it in my office for so long because I just love it. So when you look at it, this is what our brains and our bodies are like when we're totally calm. You can kind of see through it. There's nothing floating around in there. We're feeling pretty good. Some of you might have heard the green zone, like we're ready to learn, we can make good choices. We're going to pretend that this is what we feel like when we're in the green zone, when we're feeling great. Okay? Now, what if we have an icky feeling? Something doesn't go our way. Maybe we didn't get good sleep that night. Look what happens. All of a sudden, it doesn't feel so calm in our bodies anymore. Maybe we didn't get the food that we needed. Maybe we had an argument with someone that we cared about. Now we feel like this inside. It doesn't feel good. So there are things that we can do to help calm ourselves inside. Do you see all of that glitter going to the bottom? There are things that we can do to feel more calm. Do you want to hear about them?
That's really great. Yeah. Do you have anything like visually to help us with the breathing part?
So one of the things we've already been talking about is that big, deep belly breath. So I can remind you how to do that. This is my breathing ball. Some of you may have seen this before, and there's a lot of classrooms that have it. What we're going to do is breathe in through our nose and out through our mouth. Now, it's called a belly breath because if you put your hand on your belly when you breathe in, your belly goes out, not in. It goes out, okay? So put your hand on your belly and take a big, deep breath. Did you feel it go out? That's what it's supposed to do. Okay, so we're gonna do 3 big, deep breaths together. Ready? Here we go. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Now, there's this one that's called the lion's breath that a lot of my students love. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna growl at the end. It's also a yoga breath if you've ever done yoga before. So we're gonna breathe in and breathe out. It feels a little differently when we do that. So that's what a belly breath is.
That's great, Miss Chialo. So before we go here, are there any other specific ideas during this time of like social distancing and being away from the places and the people that we're used to seeing? Any strategies you have for us just getting through this time?
Some other things to think about is getting outside. That can really help our emotions, getting active, taking some time for yourself, taking a break. That really helps. Talking to somebody, listening to music, taking a shower or a bath. There's lots of different things that you can do. And what works for me might not work for you, and that's okay. You might try something and be like, this kind of helped, but I need to do something else. Okay. It might mean that you video chat somebody that you care about. It might mean that you are doing some art projects because you really like to do that. It could be rainbow loom. There's so many different ways that we can do things to calm ourselves. It's just about practicing and trying stuff out and seeing what you like to do. You know what you could do is you could ask people in your family what they do to feel calm, because it's something you could do with somebody else too.
Hey, thanks, Miss Chialo. It's felt so good just to connect right here and talk about these things. It just makes us feel like we're not alone, and we are sharing this together, even though we're not together. So just thanks so much. It was good to see you today.
Mr. Z, it has been so good to talk to you, and I miss my Normandale Hills friends so much. But if you look at my sign there, just a reminder to all of you that your feelings matter, you matter, and don't forget to breathe. It's been so good to see you all.
All right, you guys. Thanks to Miss Chialo. And before we go, the whole reason I kind of brought you back into this conversation was to lead us to that song we learned way back in October. Think of that time we were all together singing this song. Maybe the song is new to you. It still works in any time, in any place where you're just trying to like process your emotions and work through it and just realize that there's not a bad emotion, that emotions change like weather, emotions are like colors. So let's revisit this song. I want you to use this song. Just spend some time, headphones on with yourself, listening to this, singing along with it, and let it just bring you to a place of mindfulness and of peace so that you can find times where you really can relax and also find times where you can really get to work and get stuff done. Trying to balance all that is tricky. So just be mindful of that. Just know that we're together in this and that I'm with you. Have a great day, and check out the song, Breathe In, Breathe Out.
Breathe in, breathe out. That's what it's all about. Be mindful of your feelings and the ways you let them out. Emotions are like weather that move inside of you. Sometimes they're unexpected, like a rain cloud blowing through. Just like we watch for weather, let's notice how we feel and look out for each other, 'cause what you feel is real. Breathe in, breathe out. That's what it's all about. Be mindful of your feelings and the ways you let them out. Emotions are like colors, they come in many shades, from bright and sunny yellow to cold and gloomy gray. So life is full of feelings, and each one has their place. You might be feeling one thing, or have a many-colored day. Breathe in, breathe out. That's what it's all about. Be mindful of your feelings and the ways you let them out. Sometimes we hide our feelings like putting on a mask, afraid of what is underneath or what others might ask. There's no need to disguise it, just be the real you. We all carry emotions and can help each other through. Breathe in, breathe out, that's what it's all about. Be mindful of your feelings and the ways you let them out. Breathe in, breathe out, that's what it's all about. Breathe in, breathe out, that's what it's all about. Breathe in, breathe out, that's what it's all about. Breathe in, breathe out, that's what it's all about. Breathe in, breathe